guys, we have a really good view right now of a Florida Forest Service chopper picking up some water from this reservoir here, and it's headed straight into the Picayune to dump it on top of the fire. And I can tell you from being here, the smoke, it's rough. It burns your eyes. It's really hard to breathe. The wind keeps shifting, so sometimes it'll be clear for a few minutes, but then it'll just switch up on you. If you need a place to stay, the Golden Gate Community Center will be open tonight as a shelter. So this is our spot, you guys. Right now we are along State Road 29 where it meets with I-75, and take a look. We have the best view here. You can just see the massive plume of smoke. I mean, look at that. The smoke has been rolling and rolling. Earlier this morning, both the southbound and northbound lanes were closed due to flooding, but the bridge is back open now. And take a look at this. We're already seeing some major flooding over these roadways. Immigration advocates claim 6 people have gone to hospitals and that it's a public health crisis with hundreds of people living inside cages here at Alligator Alcatraz. I just spoke to the boy's mom and she is absolutely devastated. She tells me she had to rush to the school here yesterday when she got a call that her son was bleeding from the head and had a broken arm. She says she doesn't want any other parent to have to go through this. Health officials say that all 11 cases are linked to here, Ave Maria University, and I spoke to students today and they tell me the university is communicating with them. Most aren't too concerned since they're vaccinated against measles, but for those of you who are worried, the local clinic is providing free testing with insurance. You just got to go up to the tent and then they will swab you in the nose with one of these and you'll get your results in about 24 hours. To give you all an idea, Laley High is right here behind me. Then just a few steps over is where the accident happened. Now, students walk this area every day, and Jalen's mom said that they had just moved into their new apartment the day before this happened. And unfortunately, it's not the first time an autistic child has gone into a pond here at the Everly. The man who rented this unit behind me was here earlier going through his things when he told me that all of the windows in his unit were screwed shut. But not by him. He tells me that his girlfriend was stuck inside at the time of the fire, but luckily someone heard her and saved her. I spoke to a man who was actually pulled over on his way to work right by over there, the Greater Naples Fire Rescue Station, and he is a U.S. citizen but of Mexican background, so he feels like he was racially profiled. Now, part of that interaction was caught on camera. Take a look. At the beach on Marco Island, and as you can see, it's quite busy for President's Day weekend, and I made some friends here. Where are you guys from?
Minnesota!
And we're making a sandcastle. 4 people are dead and at least 17 others injured after a police pursuit turned fatal early yesterday morning in Tampa. New at 6, FHP troopers have arrested an 11-year-old child. They received a notice to be on the lookout for a possible impaired driver along I-75 in Lee County. FHP found the car and did a traffic stop, but then the car drove off. They caught back up to the car and found the 11-year-old behind the wheel. Tomorrow, new state restrictions go into place for people using SNAP benefits, restricting what you can buy. Under the new rules, you won't be able to use SNAP on items like soda, energy drinks, candy, and certain prepared foods. A little bit after we arrived this afternoon, a group of 5 Democratic legislators arrived and demanded access to the facility to inspect it. They say under Florida law, elected officials can visit county or municipal jails and state correctional facilities without any heads up. An officer came out and told them to contact someone with the Florida Department of Emergency Management, which they did, and were ultimately denied entry. Today, we saw multiple U.S. Customs and Border Protection vans pulling in and out of the gates. We also saw one big Homeland Security bus and other unmarked vehicles. Democratic state lawmakers showed up and demanded to be let in so they could see the conditions inside.
We got real concerns here, and we're expecting to be let in because we as lawmakers have the ability to conduct that type of oversight and visibility to make sure that we can see what's happening here.
Homeland Security confirmed with me today that the first wave of immigrants arrived last night. They posted this photo on X showing vans at the gate. They also say this facility is expected to cost about $450 million per year, with each bed costing $245 per day. Homeland Security says that they expect to have 5,000 beds. Florida is footing the bill for Alligator Alcatraz, and then they'll submit requests to FEMA to have that money reimbursed.
450 million taxpayer dollars can be going here to fund torture. I know that that money is not going to ensure that these people all have mosquito spray or that they're covered and that they are well taken care of.
Water getting inside the tents is also a concern. This video was taken the day President Trump and Governor DeSantis visited on Tuesday. DeSantis said he'd like to use this facility as an example for other detention centers across the country.
Don't let Florida be the only state. We've got very red states that should be doing this just as much as Florida's doing. That will increase their numbers.
The legislators are not giving up. They continue to make phone calls to people in state government, FDLE, Kevin Guthrie, anyone, so they can go inside and inspect the conditions in the facility themselves. For now, reporting from the Collier-Dade County line, I'm Alexa Velez, Gulf Coast News. This is as close as we can get to the Miccosukee Creativity Center. You can see the destruction. The left part of the building is nothing but rubble. I spoke to the woman who was one of the first community members on scene, and she also led a sewing class at the center and lost absolutely everything.
Every time I closed my eyes, I could see the orange and I could feel the heat.
Khadijah Cypress had just gotten home from a family gathering Sunday night on the Miccosukee Reservation.
And that's when I saw the fire and I went, hey, there's a fire right there. Like, it's so small right now.
She took this picture at 8:35 and this one at 8:46. You can see how quickly the flames spread. She ran to her neighbor's house just 2 doors down.
She has propane tanks like around in her porch area that exploded. So her porch area, the roof, the fire would instantly right above my head.
More than 25 Miami-Dade fire rescue units responded. One of the 3 buildings destroyed was the Miccosukee Creativity Center, where for the last 7 years, Cypress has taught community members how to sew.
I was buying machines. I bought 12 industrial sewing machines. It was myself, my mom, and my dad. We put money together, bought those machines, but everything else was donated.
She's made dresses like these to teach others and pass down Miccosukee culture and traditions through generations. This picture shows her last order.
I'm just still in shock with it, and I'm scared, like, what's gonna come out. At the end of the day, that's 10 years of my sewing career gone, and I'm starting from scratch from here. It's indescribable, like, how I'm gonna react to it.
The Miccosukee Police Department said that they have determined this fire to be accidental. Now tomorrow, Cypress will be meeting with the chairman to discuss future plans for the center. For now, reporting in Miami-Dade County, I'm Alexa Velez, Gulf Coast News. So right now we're in front of this business called G&G Produce Distributions, and we actually just saw a few agents with the Office of Agriculture pull up. They're talking to people inside the business. You can see one of the agents there in that vehicle, another one here across the street. Today, I've been seeing a lot of people in the community driving around, letting people know if there's law enforcement nearby. And right now, we can actually hear them protesting on the megaphone nearby, talking to the agents. And earlier, they were doing the exact same thing at a business next door. Take a listen.
This stop is due an expired permit. Not because they don't have a permit. You lied. Put on the liar. You better do it the right way. You're being filmed from every angle. Do it the right way.
Immokalee is filled with law enforcement right now, pulling people over. Yesterday, a protest broke out in front of the state farmers market, where members of the community yelled at law enforcement from the other side of the fence. Some of those protesters tell me today they saw FHP, Office of Agriculture, Border Patrol, and FWC using the market as their hub, rounding up all the undocumented people they arrested. The Collier County Sheriff's Office confirms state and federal agencies were in Immokalee conducting an operation yesterday evening. CCSO was only called out here after protesters arrived. Agents were targeting palmetto berry pickers, according to my sources. They say they'd pull them over, ask for their permit. If they had one, they'd ask everyone in the vans for ID. If no ID, they'd get arrested and taken to the farmers market. One man I spoke to tells me what's happening is breaking his community apart.
Me siento bien harto.
He says, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, I feel bad for the people they're arresting, taking the most humble, hardworking people. They come to work to have a better future. They don't ask for money from the government. They don't ask for anything. I don't know if you can hear it, but the protesters are yelling over the megaphone and honking their horns. And the man that you just saw me speaking to, he was so scared of being identified. He put a towel over himself so nobody could recognize his clothing. Something I've noticed today is that this community is so tight-knit. People have been driving around, documenting, filming, protesting, as we're hearing right now, letting others know if it's safe to go outside, if there's law enforcement nearby. Because the sad reality is that a lot of people in Immokalee are afraid to even leave their homes. For now, reporting live in Immokalee, I'm Alexa Velez, Gulf Coast News.